Whether you're a track athlete, basketball player or football player, the ability to quickly increase your velocity in a short period of time is essential for improved performance. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to train acceleration based on sports science literature. Stay tuned. In order to accelerate most efficiently, you've got to master 3 biomechanical points. Firstly, you must learn to apply force horizontally. In order to do this, you must have a shin angle of around about 40 degrees as indicated by Nagahara and Hunter. They found a more acute shin angle resulted in higher horizontal forces. Secondly, the position of the athlete's foot when contacting the ground is equally as important. Morin in 2011 stated that the most efficient accelerators contact the ground just behind their center of mass, preventing braking forces, slowing you down, and increasing horizontal force. Finally, Quinton et al. In 2002 found that a higher ankle stiffness also increases horizontal and vertical force production, since the Achilles tendon and ankle plantar flexors play a significant role in energy storage and release, therefore increasing the acceleration efficiency. We're now going to take a look at an athlete who sent me some videos of her training doing block starts. Now I'm going to be analysing her acceleration mechanics to show you guys what you should be looking for and critique some of her technical points. If you want me to analyse your sprinting mechanics, then just send me a DM on abstract. I'm going to put it on the screen now. That's my Instagram account. Just feel free to DM me there and I'll try my best to include as many of you guys as possible in my videos. So this athlete does a good job of pushing out of the blocks initially. However, as you can see, the shin angle is a little too steep. So her horizontal force production is going to be impaired, and it also leads to her popping up way too early. Now this is a slightly better angle, and in this clip the athlete does much better at pushing down and back at the track, which results in much better shin angles initially. So as you can see on the first step here, and the second step is much better, but it pops up. She also wastes a lot of time at that back foot coming up before it comes down, rather than it coming straight through. So that back leg should come straight through rather than coming up and then round and then down, which wastes a lot of time. Now in this final angle, we can see that the athlete appears to be contacting the ground in front of her center of mass, which results in very flat-footed contacts. And as we said before, this limits her ability to accelerate properly, because not only is her ankle stiffness limited, but her contacts are also way out in front of her, which, as you can see, results in her popping up way too early. Her shin angles are too steep, and she's going to have to be pulling over herself and waiting for her body weight to get over herself before she can push, which just wastes so much time and energy. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best starter in the world, but I think you can clearly see that my contacts are behind my center of mass and my shin angles are definitely around about 40 degrees and I'm pushing backwards. My ankle stiffness can probably be improved a little bit, but to be fair, I am a long jumper, but I think this just gives you guys an idea of what to be looking for. Before we start this workout, make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. I put a lot of effort into this video, so if you subscribe, it will really help me out so I can keep doing this to help educate you guys on how to get faster. Make sure to also comment down below what you'd like to see me cover next, and click the bell icon if you want to see when I next upload. Let's get started. So the first couple of drills are quite light, but we're going to gradually increase the intensity. You're essentially going to be kicking out, keeping your leg pretty stiff, which is going to activate your iliopsoas and rectus femoris muscles, which are essential for acceleration.
The middle one, this one. Special guest on Abraham's channel today. I just got here, so I'm late as hell. So I actually need to get a move on. But yeah, I'll leave you in the...
Have you told him to subscribe?
Oh, like, comment, share, subscribe. If we get Abraham to 500 subscribers, I will give him my kidney. Yeah,
why do you not want your kidney first?
The next exercise is scissor bounds, so keep the legs straight again, but you're just switching the legs. Focus on kicking out, but also swinging back. You can make them short and fast, but you can also elongate the stride. The next drill we've got is what I call 1, 2, 3, 4s. So essentially it's a scissor bound, and every 3 steps, you're quickly swinging the leg up and back down to the track. So as you can see, this is a much better angle. So I'm scissoring my legs, and then every 3rd step, I'm bringing it up, back down. And then again, up and back down. You want to make sure that you're doing this really quickly and just snapping that leg through. The next 2 drills are actually very similar. So it's now every 2nd step. So as you can see, I'm scissoring my legs still, but then every 2nd step, I'm bringing my foot up and I'm pushing it back towards the track. So essentially I'm alternating between two legs. Probably guessed the next drill, but it's now every other step. So it's the same leg, and every step is just pushing back quickly and powerfully towards the track. Now, before I start the next portion of this workout, some of you may have noticed that I've been wearing these shoes throughout the workout so far, and they're called Anteeps. I use them a lot during my training, and they've got a carbon fiber plate down the middle of the shoe, which helps for much faster contact times when I'm sprinting and I'm not in spikes, which is really good. I actually have a discount link that you guys can use where I can get you 10% off. So I'll link that in the description for you guys. They're very durable, they last me a very long time, and they help me a lot when I'm not in spikes. Now, before we start the next couple of exercises, I'd highly recommend resting for about 5 minutes. Now, essentially, you're going to lean forwards in a kneeling position until you can explode out, and you're just going to sprint outwards as if you're accelerating out of the blocks. Think about those cues that we mentioned earlier. The next drill is quite similar to what we did previously. You're essentially going to be standing up and leaning forwards before you accelerate out as if you're accelerating from the blocks. Now, as you can see, even I make mistakes doing this. You want to make sure that you're really leaning forward and almost feel as if you're going to fall over. This is completely natural, but just make sure that you're pushing out deliberately and thinking about all those things that we mentioned before. Shin angles at 40 degrees, stiff ankles, and most importantly, where you're contacting with relation to your center of mass. Guys, one thing to say, don't be afraid to fall over because it's all part of the process. You have to be able to project yourself forwards to the point where your center of mass is so far in front of you that you literally feel like you're gonna fall over. But keep trying, guys. You're gonna fall over, it's inevitable, but you just have to push yourself past that mental barrier. But once you're past that mental barrier, you're already halfway there. Once you've done all the drills, guys, you're going to move on to what I call the bulk of the session. So in this particular workout, you're going to do 2 times 10 meter, either block starts or from standing. Then you're going to do 20 meters 2 times, and then you're going to do 30 meters 2 times. And if you really feel like it, you can do a 40 meters as well. But guys, with all the sets and reps, it's all up to you and how you feel. So if you feel tired after all the drills and you feel like you can't push yourself and you can't give your max effort, then I actually wouldn't even recommend doing the bulk of the session. Perhaps you could also cut down the drills and then focus more on the bulk. This workout is designed to give you, the guys, like as many drills as possible and also give you a structured breakdown of how to accelerate. So if you don't do all the drills and all the accelerations, that's not really a big deal. The most important thing is how you feel physically, because the quality is much more important than the quantity and the amount of training that you're doing. You do not want to be overdoing it. So yeah, I definitely recommend doing 2 10s, 2 20s, 2 30s, and maybe a 40 if you're up for it. With regards to weight training, here's what I'd recommend doing. Have one exercise devoted to strength. So for me, that could be a squat, it could be a trap bar deadlift. So essentially what we're doing is we're applying a French contrast method of training. We're recruiting as many motor units as we can through strength-based training, and then we're going to increase the speed. So now we're doing it faster. So we're doing squat jumps with like a light weight. You'll notice that the movement will feel really easy and like almost like you're flying. And that's because we've already recruited the motor units from the exercise before. Now we're going to remove the weight completely. So now it's going to feel very fast and it's really going to feel like you're able to explode up. I would then lastly recommend doing a reactive plyo, so something like this to increase your ankle stiffness. And that's it, guys. Once you've completed that workout, I'd highly recommend doing a cool down, a light jog, some static stretching. I'll do a full video on warm-ups and cool downs as well. But guys, if you found this video useful, make sure to comment down below what you'd like to see next, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.